Hi everyone, this is Yana Smakula and thank you so much for joining me today. This year I have been enjoying coloring using various coloring mediums more than ever, so I decided to put together this coloring gift guide for card makers video. Now I'm not an expert at coloring, I color because I love the process, I enjoy it, so whether you like to color or if you're looking to find something to relax with, be it coloring, or if you're looking for a gift idea for a friend who is a card maker and likes to color, hopefully this video will be helpful. Lately, I've been coloring a lot using colored pencils. You're seeing some of my handmade cards colored using various pencils on the screen right now. I bought a set of Prismacolor pencils last year as a gift for myself for Christmas, and I also received a set of Polychromos pencils as a gift. I haven't really used either of them much until I tried coloring with them on dark surfaces, mostly black and gray papers, and this is where I found the true value of these pencils. I personally love Polychromos pencils by Faber-Castell better, but I also like my Prismacolors, just not as much. Now, Polychromos pencils have break-resistant tips, and I haven't had a single tip break yet. I can sharpen them without the fear of the tip breaking, and therefore these pencils last longer. I have a smaller 36 set of Polychromos, and I think this is actually what helped me start using them, as less is more. I didn't have to think too hard about the colors I wanted to use, and I just started coloring. So 36 set or maybe a smaller set is a good set or a good number of pencils to start with. I mostly love to use these on dark papers as they give very vivid and striking results. They do not smudge and I find them easy to blend. When I color on light colors of cardstock, I like to use my alcohol markers or my watercolors. Now, I do not use any blending solutions with these pencils when I color. I'm still learning how to use these, but with each new project I make and each new video I film, I discover something new and fall in love with these even more. Now, I have to say that these pencils aren't cheap, but they do last a long time and are sold individually, so you can buy additional colors when needed. I'm actually looking to get a few new colors to add to my collection. I also use Prismacolors. I don't like using them quite as much as they do smudge and flake off and are a bit hard to remove if you accidentally cover over the area that you didn't need to color, but they are great pencils and are more affordable compared to Polychromos pencils. I have a set of 150 pencils, and if you are looking to get a set of these or any other kind, I'd say start with a smaller set as too much choice can be paralyzing at times. Now, I also like to combine both Polychromos and Prismacolors when I color. For instance, I can use reds from Prismacolors and blues from Polychromos, and I find that that works well. Now, I do not mix different pencils from one color family when I color, as they do not blend well together. So for instance, I'm not going to use a dark red from Polychromos and a light red from Prismacolors. Polychromos colored pencils are oil-based. Prismacolors colored pencils are wax-based, and sometimes a Prismacolor drawing will develop thin, waxy film on its surface. So this is another thing that I don't really like about these pencils. But like I said, they are great pencils to color with. I've also enjoyed coloring with watercolors, especially Daniel Smith watercolors. I was first introduced to these about 2 years ago, and I tried their dot chart and I fell in love with the quality of the colors. I have another video on my channel talking about my top 10 and my top 20 favorite watercolor colors from Daniel Smith. These watercolors are sold in individual tubes, so you can easily collect the colors that you like. You don't have to stick with a predefined palette. Now, how do you know what colors you do like? Luckily, Daniel Smith has fantastic dot charts that are very inexpensive, and I actually have my own dot chart with my top 18 colors, and that chart is available exclusively at Simon Says Stamp. Simon also has other charts like this, and there is one big chart that lists all or nearly all of Daniel Smith colors. If you enjoy watercoloring or if you'd like to get some professional quality supplies for your coloring, I can't recommend these enough. And these dot charts are really a very good place to start. And by the way, I have links to all of the products that I mentioned in my video description below, so feel free to check them out. If you like to use watercolors in a more controlled way, you can also take a look at the Derwent Inktense watercolor pencils. These are a bit different from the traditional watercolors, as these become permanent when they dry. In other words, once you've added water to your color pencil coloring, you won't be able to move or lift that color. With traditional watercolors, you have the ability to either completely or partially lift up the color if needed, but you cannot do that with these Inktense pencils. So this can be seen as a plus or a minus depending on the situation. When I color little images, little itty bitty tiny florals, for instance, I find this quality of these pencils to be a plus, since I don't have to worry about my colors reactivating and bleeding and mixing. And I can also go over my coloring, my watercolor coloring, with a glitter pen such as Wink of Stella, and color will be sure to stay put. Finally, I also enjoy coloring with Copics. These are alcohol markers, and they are the most expensive of all. I personally have a very small collection, and over the years, I've picked up just certain colors that I felt I'd use the most. I haven't been coloring with these much, especially this year, but I do find them to be a great coloring medium to have. So in this video, I covered several different coloring mediums. Pencils, and I prefer to use them on dark surfaces, and watercolors, and these I like to use on white papers. So this finishes this video. I hope you have found it to be helpful, and if you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments below. I'd appreciate you giving this video a thumbs up and sharing it with your crafty friends. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!